Hello, everyone. Hope everyone's doing okay. Just trying some new things out. I turned my light off above my head because it was like I just didn't like how it looked on the camera when I was looking at the VOD. Yeah, just little things. I turned this light down a little bit. I'm thinking about seeing what kind of like cheap DIY LED strips that I could get to like go underneath these shelves. That'd be cool to like make them purple or something. Hope everyone's doing okay. I would like to experiment a little bit. So we're gonna do this is the PS3 stream, but I want to experiment with. I would like to try to capture the OSSC Pro with one of my Evermedia Live Gamer capture cards. And I'm thinking that I might be able to put like two of the scalers on a 4K, because I haven't, it's a couple of extra 4K switcher things, and I'm thinking that maybe if I put two of them on a switcher, that they might cooperate and I can switch back and forth between them. Now, I just tried it right before the stream started with the OSSC Pro and the RetroTink 4K on the same switcher, but the RetroTink hates multiple switchers in a row, is what I found out. So the compatibility, I think, with the RetroTink 4K is like, of the three that I've got, it's the worst compatibility with if you have a complex switch setup. And I don't mean to be, I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but like I've reached out to Mike, and Mike doesn't seem to, he's said that he doesn't really use switchers. He just uses console into the scaler into the TV. That's his sort of thing. So it's really hard for me to diagnose issues like that, because is there some kind of I'm sure there are like really expensive HDMI validation things. Actually, I think Linus Tech Tips had a video one time about how they validate cables and stuff. I don't know the first thing about how you would test the compatibility and why it's not that compatible. So I guess another thing before we're getting into the stream, the PS3 stream, I can't really show them, but I got those little, I tweeted about it this morning. I got those little USB charger things, two Anchor ones. So the RetroTink and the Morph are going into those, one each. So far it seems fine. See, the PS3 is already connected to the Morph here. Like I said, the RetroTink is in that switcher right now. But if I take the RetroTink out, I also tried to update things. At least they updated the Morph. I know there is a new preview firmware for the RetroTink, but it's not stable yet. It's not released yet. So that's coming soon. I think there's some de-interlacing improvements. But that's not released yet. So let's take the RetroTink. I'm just getting my setup here. Let's take the RetroTink and put that back on its own switcher, or its own capture card. So that should work. Oh, it went dark. Cool. All right, so that's working fine. This is just at the thing. New Tink update is good for 480i stuff. Yeah, I'm excited. I typically will wait for stuff to be on the stable, although that's not 100% the case. In order to use direct mode with the RetroGem, I had to use the test firmware branch or whatever for the RetroGem for the PS2. But I'm fine with waiting, especially if it's still in development stuff. So we have the RetroTink, got the Morph, all working. If you missed last stream, I talked about how the HDCP stripper that I'm using. I put it actually in an affiliate link in this description if you want to check out which one I'm using. It's pretty inexpensive. And actually, what's interesting is somebody mentioned after that stream was over that one of the benefits of using the other one, the EasyQ one, which I think the one My Life in Gaming likes to use, is that it's USB-C. I kind of talked a little bit about the dangers of USB-C, you know, using multiple devices into a USB-C like hub, and how they might not be super compatible with each other. Like I've had weird things, like I'm not even lying, like I have a little portable monitor. I can't really, I just blew it. Well, I have a little portable monitor that was in it's a USB-C powered thing, and it was plugged into a USB-C hub, and it was causing flickering on my TV. It was causing like weird scrolling. I have no idea how or why, but as soon as I connected or took it off of the hub, it worked fine. Everything works fine. So yeah, and that's from like quality brand, like it's an Anchor one. Hey Renee. So all right, so let's do a little experiment again. So let's plug the Morph and the OSSC Pro into the same switch, and then plug that into the first capture card, and that way I should be able to switch between all three of them, because I would like to see, there is the 4K 4x3 mode with the OSSC Pro. So I guess I just want to see what that looks like. Now I don't know if that means like you can't. I don't know if that means like you can't use a widescreen. This is like probably a bad console. Maybe I could do it in 1440p, but I don't know if that means it like won't accept 16:9 content or what. But you know, it does. It can do the 4x3 14 or 4K. So I just wanted to kind of experiment to see what happens. I just want to see if it will detect it at all, because that was one of the problems. I know you guys can't really see what I'm doing, but I'm down here. All right, so the OSSC Pro is in port 2. Disconnect the Morph, and that's going to go into port up here. I wish I had cameras all over my room. Not in a weird way, but in a way that you guys could see what I was doing. That's funny. I made a new emote. It's kind of stupid, but you should look at the emotes if you're a member. Okay, so now let's test it. So that means that the first input was what, the Morph? Okay, so it already doesn't like it. See, I think the problem may be this switch and not necessarily the RetroTink 4K, but yeah, I don't know. This micro USB to DC power. Oh, so that's what I was going to say, Obi-Wan, actually. So that person was talking about how that thing was USB-C powered. This didn't work. I'm just going to put the Morph back. Let's get through the Morph and the RetroTink, you know, tonight when we're doing the PS3. But I don't know. I'm really trying to get a third capture card so that I can just have a dedicated capture input for the OSSC Pro. That's what I want to have. Right now I only have, it would only be 1080p because I only have a third 1080p. So yes, you're right, Obi-Wan. I think I haven't really messed with it that much, but the splitter that I'm using, the HDCP stripper splitter thing that's in the description, it has a 5-volt DC barrel jack input. They make DC barrel jack to USB Type-C adapters. So I don't see why you couldn't power that whole device with an adapter with USB-C. So something I'll have to experiment, because I do want to like consolidate, basically get rid of as many of those bigger wall warts as possible. So run some sprite-based games. I don't. Yeah, I've been there already with all three of them. There were just, you know, some people did request, I guess, 7th gen. I'm not really super familiar. I don't use the terminology that often, but like PS3 and Xbox 360. If I'm being honest, I probably should have chose the Xbox 360, but I chose the PS3 for this one at least. So this is sort of like a 720p / 1080p, 1080. If I have some games that are 1080i, I just want to mess with that stuff. So like higher resolution, which I don't necessarily expect you to be able to tell any difference really between the Morph and the RetroTink 4K. You can watch the other streams. I do have some other streams where I stream the first stream that I did with the Morph was Super Nintendo. So I think we're gonna wrap around probably next Morph stream or next stream, I guess. Well, I am getting parts to build the micro 8088. I already have the PCBs, but I ordered the bill of material stuff to build that. But I kind of want to touch on maybe like Mister, like do a bunch of Mister core stuff. I know that the N64 core just went public, like the first release version or something, just not too long ago. And you know, we have a bunch there would be a whole bunch of old console options for that. So that might be a good candidate. And now I guess we can check out the progress of direct mode and how that's working, because I know there were some different cores that had issues. Gran Turismo is 1080i. Okay. Which splitter did? I returned all the ones that I showed you last week. I have this one. It's called the Todo. I don't know. I don't like it that much just because of the compatibility issues. I really haven't found a splitter. Well, you know, it's funny because I just returned those ones. I should have tested them while I had them because they were 4K, or they were HDMI 2.0. I should have tested them while I had them, but I just have a big like credit card bill. Like I just bought a whole bunch of stuff to test it to see what I needed, and then not open them and just return them what I didn't need. So I ended up having a splitter already, so I returned, or the HDCP splitter, so I returned everything. All right, so let's get a game running. I expanded a little bit of the amount of games that I have. I have about the top 150 or so on for. Let me get my headphones here so I can hear it from the Metacritic list. So I have a few more games, and I did get Dead or Alive 4 or 5. I don't know why that was requested specifically, but yeah. So we can look at the list of games, and you guys can shout some stuff out. I don't know if we want to start with that. I don't know if I have Gran Turismo. Let's see. Gotta go here. I think I have to go here. Oh, maybe this is. Oh, and I didn't download any, or I didn't get any of the sports games, so those aren't not included. Might be good to compare the smoothing modes between the different scalars. Oh yeah, we could do that. Sure. Yep. The XBR. There is one. There is a couple of smoothing modes with the Morph as well. So yeah. So what did you guys say? How do I get my audio out of here? It is wobbling pixels. I had to change it manually though to 4K or 4:3 mode, and it is compatible with the AverMedia Live Gamer too. And I found out that if I put a filter in OBS, I could just make it shrink to 4:3. I don't really have to mess with cropping it at all. It will just squish whatever it's receiving into 4:3. So we could try that in a little bit, I think. Because I do want to try that 4K 4:3 mode. However, I don't know what's going to happen with the with 16:9 stuff. I don't know if it it doesn't like it. Oh, I guess I don't have. Oh wait, we're not there yet. I guess I don't have Gran Turismo. Why would I not have Gran Turismo? That seems weird. Okay, well I guess I don't have Gran Turismo. All right, so I guess let's start with what? 1080p. Does anyone have any recommendations from the list here that they want to see? I know you guys want to see Dead or Alive, so we'll do Dead or Alive 5 later. I was trying to watch that Digital Foundry John Lennon video where he talked about the better looking games, so I downloaded that Ridge Racer. That's what we played last week. My OLED C9 doesn't like this 4K mode. Yeah, I don't really love being in that 4K mode just because I still haven't gotten that Tindy order for that Mr. Laggy is taking forever. I still haven't gotten that. Let's play Minecraft. That's funny. No, Gradius, notorious for having interlacing issues. Okay, Grady's 5. Okay, well, as long as you guys don't tell anybody, let's just don't tell anybody. And I'm gonna go on eBay, if you know what I mean. What game? Gradient. What's a specific game? This is. I'll say that this is fair use. This is testing. Gradius 5, I heard. Wow. Would you believe the prices on eBay? Crazy. Okay. Because that seems like... So, Gran Turismo. Which Gran Turismo? 5? 6? The newest one? Right now, this is the Morph. Yep. Persona 4. So I have that already. Okay, so let's I'm gonna have this going. Wait, do I have Persona? I thought I did. Maybe I have. Oh, I do. Arena. Is that the real game? The whole game? I don't have any of the PlayStation, whatever they call the downloadable ones. Oh, Ratchet and Clank, Virtua Fighter 5, Gran Turismo, Prologue. Which Gran Turismo? Just like the newest one? Because I know there's a few. Okay, I'm just loading this up. So this is, I don't know, is this like a 2D-ish game? I know it's like anime kind of style, so maybe is that good for like, I don't know, something? Don't do any RPGs? Oh, it's a fighting spin-off. Okay. Well, I guess I got the wrong thing. I got it on eBay. All right, so I'm just going to do Gran Turismo 5. No, or 6. Gran Turismo 5 Prologue. Okay. And then what was the other one? Gradius? Oh, I guess that might also be a downloadable game, only game, like the PS3. I can't. eBay doesn't have any of those. Holy shit! This is taking forever. What is this? Okay, well, we're in it. I've never played this game. This is a fighting game, so maybe hopefully we can get right into it. I don't know.
Persona 4 Arena Ultimax.
Great. So let's see what does the Tink say this resolution is? Probably 1080, right? Ooh, so this is 720. Is there a 4K mode? Okay. I don't really know how to play this. Oh, up the top here. Options? Is there like a 1080p? Okay, no. Also, I have no hope of saving any of these live streams from being monetized at all. The last like 3 that were like streaming games, they were all demonetized. So, YOLO. All right, I don't know. Gallery, theater. Yeah, I know there's no. What do I do here? Oh, this is options. Okay, story mode. I don't know. This is terrible. You can skip the updates with GT6. Okay, so Gran Turismo is coming.
This program will be brought to you by the following sponsors.
What is even happening? I don't even know what's happening on the screen. Oh, it's a cool... Hold on, I'm not even over there. Just give me a second. I'm trying to get Gran Turismo. I think that would be a better... wait, Gran Turismo Prologue still? What in the world? I think it's working. I can't really tell. I'm sorry. Alright, let me get a different one then. I'll just get GT6. So that's a much bigger game. Okay. it's not gonna, it's gonna be a while. So let's pick a different game from the list. How do you go back? Oh, the home button. Okay, so let's pick a different game that's not. Type B. GT6 has different performance between 720p and 1080p. Volleyball spin-off? No, I don't have the volleyball spin-off. Oh, that's funny. Oh, I like how the wallpaper is full screen like that. Okay, let's choose something else for now. So I just put Dead. How about Dark Souls? That would be cool. Or Demon Souls, the first one. There's something in here, this list that I've got already shouted out. I'm not using any splitter right now. Oh, well, I'm using the HDCP splitter for HDCP in the description. That's the one that I picked. Fighting a racing game best. Okay, so let's just. I know you guys. Let's just do Dead or Alive anyways, because I know you guys wanted that. So that'll be good for now. And I'm gonna try to. I think we'll be able to do. Yeah, these are going to take a long time to get eBay. I mean, I know eBay has same day shipping, but yeah. Oh, so yeah, about that. I don't think I'm going to do a Franken mod. Is that when you take an older, like the original PlayStation 3, and you put a newer CPU into it? I don't think I'm ever going to do that unless somebody like handed me all the parts or whatever and helped me do it. I'll probably never do that. However, I did get that. Delidding tool for the GPU. It kind of scares me a little bit, but I do have a second PlayStation 3 Slim that I think is bricked. It just is not working, and it's sort of a long story. So I might test it on that one. But it's kind of a jig that helps you to delid the GPU part, and then I guess you must be able to put some kind of other, not thermal paste, but like, I don't know, liquid metal or something. I didn't look into it yet, so I'm not sure exactly what you repaste it with, but to lower the temperature of the GPU. Now, apparently the CPU is harder. The CPU is harder to delid, at least even with a jig. Is your PS3 set to 1080p? I believe it is. Let me see. What is because the X and B here is 1080p, right? Okay. Okay, before anybody yells at me, I'll get out of this game and I'll double check. Oh, Eco is 1080p. That might be a good game to. Is it in this menu? Or is it this? Oh, obviously it's in display settings, derp. Okay, yeah, I believe we're in 1080p, right? So HDMI, do I have to change this? Okay, so you can disable these all. So it's all on 1080p. Yeah. A BGA station, yeah. Some year maybe. PS3 scaler is weird with its output in games, as you need to pretty much set the PS3 to match game output. I'm not sure what you mean, replicant. All right, so I think that was fine, right? We're in 1080p, so let's go back and we'll at least watch that cutscene or go through that. Are the cutscenes in Dead or Alive rendered in the game engine? Because they look pretty good. I mean, the for a PS3 game. I'm not hating, by the way. I understand that I have I'm privileged to have all these scalars, and so sometimes I kind of get like, I kind of forget that I don't know. It's hard to describe. It's sometimes I don't necessarily I judge the game and not really the scalar, which is not really it doesn't really help. One thing that's kind of interesting, so let's go to the Morph menu. I guess it sort of bothers me, and I don't know if it's like because I'm sitting very close. Like, so this is a 42-inch screen, right? 4K OLED, and I don't love these letters. So what does it say? So this is 720p. This screen. Let's go scalar. So it's just set to auto everything but sharp interpolation. Like, I'm not sure if it needs to be in a different, maybe like soft. Like, I don't know. I think this is highly game dependent on which interpolation setting that you use. Sometimes like sharp, when I think sharp, I think sharp pixels for like 2D games, but I sometimes feel like it is a disadvantage in these higher resolution games. I know 720p is not super high res, but whereas, so like if you look, I don't know if you guys can tell, but I don't really love how the text looks. So it says at the bottom middle, it says fight against another player, blah, blah, blah. Or like show fight results at the bottom there. There's a weird, it just looks weird, right? It looks like there's something, like some ghosting or something fringing. So maybe if we mess with like the interpolation, maybe we'll set it to soft or something. Like right away, that helps a lot. Like that sharpens the text up, even though it doesn't make sense. But obviously these games were not necessarily made for this circumstance, right? They were made for probably CRTs or early 720p TVs, which this would have been the native resolution. I don't think that's true, Replicant. Because right now the Morph is saying it's outputting 720p. It's not always outputting 1080p. Because honestly, the PS3 would struggle to output 1080p. Like I was playing, maybe we'll try to play it later, but I was trying to play Uncharted, the third Uncharted, and it was terrible. Like the performance was awful. It was just struggling. So like I doubt it's trying to do any upscaling and not just doing it in 720p. So let's watch this cutscene at least. I should have been more prepared with my eBay purchases. Well, Devin, I'm sorry. I think it's just going to use the native resolution. Oh no! It's going to use whatever resolution, the highest resolution it can output. So that, I guess it was sort of a developer choice, I think. And the PS3, like toward the end of its life, it sort of struggled on some of those games. Some of the games that came out toward the end of its life. You can even switch to show the RetroTink. The text looks better there. So this is the. I have to switch it on my side too. Oh shoot! Guy, stop hitting me! No! Oh god. I'm bad at fighting games, by the way, so I'm sorry. Oh god. Grab it! Ah! All right, so you guys are seeing the RetroTink, but I didn't have time to switch it to it on my screen here. So this is the. It doesn't look that. I mean, it looks. Some scenes look really good, upscaled. Like, unfortunately, the time period of games and a lot of in this time were very brown, like Gears of War, kind of like Call of Duty. This part, they're not very good. Like, the colors are not very. It's not very colorful. It's just very realistic, quote unquote. But when it gets to the nice, colorful and saturated scenes, it looks really good. So I was gonna set the RetroTink. I was gonna see what kind of, because I didn't mess with the interpolation settings at all with the RetroTink when I used it. Is that probably here? I don't exactly know where any like smoothing would be. Processing? Oh yeah, this, right? So we put this maybe to like medium or something. That might be a fair, or standard, or soft. That's kind of too soft. Oh, the screen's in the way. Oh, let's look at it let's look at it with standard for a minute. I mean, it looks good with the interpolation settings, I have to admit. Like, the text is okay. You can still see areas that are really sharp, like when the faces and stuff or the hair goes in the back, like a bright background or something.
So you're saying that whatever the people who have left do attack.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just no. I mean, it's for all intents and purposes is a comparison stream. But yes, you're right.
Whatever. By the way, is that girl your messenger now?
Oh, so now I got to change this to that. There we go. Sorry about that. Lanxos 3. Does the Morph have that? Let's see. I don't know anything about the story about what's happening in this, so if this is a spoiler or something, I know it's in the very beginning of this game, so I don't know. I don't think they're. I think you were talking about the RetroTink extrems. But there are these filters here. I don't know. I mean, oh, whoops, wrong one. I don't know if you guys are gonna get mad if I turn these on. Maybe I'll save those actual smoothing filters for later. Got it.
You know, dear, we still have some time before we reach the dock. Try to get some rest. Donovan, what are you planning now?
PS3 is sort of loud. Like, the fan is going. I cleaned it out and repasted it, but there's just no preventing it. It's just super duper hot all the time. Oh, the helicopter looks really cool. I like the
So, it's been a while, hasn't it, bro? What does Ellen know?
there's like heat effects going on.
No idea. Maybe she's trying to
Okay, on my stream or my scene, in OBS, I should be able to set that setting. So you guys will be watching the Morph, but I can be on the RetroTink and setting the setting. Okay. Oh God, I can't see it. Okay, so I need to go to settings, processing / effects, interpolation, Lanxos 3. Okay. Okay, so now I've got the RetroTink is set to Lanxos 3.
Damn she's getting rusty.
I have both on the screen at the same time. So the RetroTink is on the right, and the Morph is on the left. The Morph is just using the soft interpolation,
Why'd you bring your hog with you?
and the RetroTink is using Lanxos. I think that's how you pronounce it, Lanxos 3.
I mean, it ain't gonna do you any good here, is
I am running EvilNat, Devin. Yep. I'm not. I don't think it's whatever the most up-to-date EvilNat version is. Yep. Soul Calibur 5 enables anti-aliasing and 1080p, but disables it. Oh, interesting. This scene looks really cool. I really like the cutscenes in the front here, in the beginning here. I mean, I don't really care that much about the fighting, but it is a kind of a neat game. I think at the time it probably was sweet. Man, I couldn't imagine, I guess, at the time coming from the PS2 to this. You'd probably be mind blown.
On to the next fight.
They're a little bit out of sync. Not terribly. I think the actual pictures too are off by a few pixels, so maybe, hopefully it doesn't mess with your head. I can also reverse it. So now the RetroTink is on the left. And the Morph is on the right. This is just to show off those different interpolation settings. As far as I know at this point, especially for this generation, I think it's all about finding the right, or the interpolation setting that you like the best, right? Because I think both of them will probably have a really good upscaling. Just if you leave everything off or whatever, you know, they'll both be fine. At least, especially with like 720p and 1080p. I'm not sure about 1080i. You know, that comes down to de-interlacing, and we'll have to find some game examples for that. But then it's pretty much just figuring out what interpolation settings you like. Yeah. But there's no way to set. The Morph doesn't have this type of interpolation. I just think soft interpolation looks better on the Morph. So this is not really a comparison per se. I guess it's just, I mean, it is a comparison, but it's not like a, I don't know how to describe it, but this is not super scientific. Plus, I have no way of viewing this really on my screen. Well, I guess I could preview the OBS window. Wait, what happened now? Is this the next chapter in the story? Should we play a different game, maybe? I don't know. I guess we can keep playing this. I'm just going to get to a point where I'm going to be terrible and not be able to beat a stage. But I do like the cutscenes are cool. Oh yeah, with these, it's off by a little bit, and it's a little...
Kasumi? I'm looking for Alpha 152. But I bet you...
Oh, sorry, the,
What are you doing now?
both of the audios were going too. Sorry about that.
You really want to fight this badly? I can't...
I turned off the audio. Just let me know if it's annoying with having both on the screen at the same time, and I can change it. I'm trying to block stuff, but... Is there like a fighting game like guide, like how to get into fighting games if you're a newbie? Or you just kind of play forever and get good? Like, I don't get it. Like, I've always been... I know with Melee, like Smash Brothers and stuff, there's like a lot of techniques and stuff, so you can like learn about the techniques, just learn how to do them. But as far as like like modern fighting games, I have zero idea. Put it on autopilot. Is it autopilot? Training mode. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Well, I like the cutscenes. I guess we'll play until I can't just button mash my way through.
Finally,
I don't know. I'm assuming that these are not pre-rendered cutscenes, right?
prepare yourself, you traitor.
Ayane, I don't want to fight you.
Just do the training modes and learn. Oh, I got it.
Get ready, fight!
I'm trying to like look at both in the OBS preview window on my tiny monitor, my tiny screen. It's kind of funny actually. Ooh, I learned how to kick stuff. Hooray! I've had better luck getting into 3D fighting games compared to 2D since from what I've played, they tend to be more emphasis on position and less on combos. Yeah, Melee is very unforgiving. Just the speed too, it's just, yeah.
Why are you following me?
But I mean, I guess casually I enjoy them, but it's like, I don't really have a friend that likes fighting games also, so it's just...
I'm looking for
Have you compared native resolution?
What would that be?
Let's see. How could I do that? Yeah. If you hold on a second, I could do. Oops. How do I start? Where does this ice guy come from? Or this snow guy come from? Well, okay. I could do with the magic with the magic of the Extron. I actually could output a fourth HDMI. Hold on a minute. I think this is. Wait. I think. Will I be able to do this? Let me put it on training mode or something so you guys can watch that at least while I'm messing around in the back of the Extron. 3 training? So can you put 2 CPUs together? Is there a way to put 2 computer people together? Or I guess just, oh, there's a tutorial. Oh, exhibition mode? No, it doesn't do anything. I don't see a way to put computers on. I want to put, that's a good idea about the, I don't know, man. Spectator? Oh, here we go. Yeah, I don't know how I randomly stumbled upon it. That's cool. Okay, so you guys can watch this. And I'm going to get another HDMI cable. And I'm going to swap out the RetroTink's spot for the native output of the PlayStation. Oh, actually, you know what? I don't need to do that. I have an idea. Okay. Gotta do the reach around to my thing here. No, that sounds terrible. I have to add another HDMI cable to my. I'm glad I bought this Extron because it's proving handy to have a matrix. Okay, so now I need to set the third input. Whoops, no, first input to the fourth output also. Okay, so now it's going to the fourth output, and I'll need to plug in my Magewell card. That should be okay with 720p. this over here. Well, I'm not going to be able to easily see it, but you guys will. Okay. The drill's plugged in. I have 5 or at least 4, yeah. All right, so now, oh my God, the PlayStation is like taking off. You guys can hear it. This is funny. Here, you guys can hear my PlayStation just. Oh, that's funny. Okay, so in studio mode, I can do. Let's duplicate this. Duplicate that scene. That should be capture native. Okay, then we replace the RetroTink. Replace this and that with a new capture. We'll call it Magewell. USB. Is Magewell uppercase? I don't know. Then we'll grab, what is it? The game? No, not the game capture HD. The USB capture HDMI. Okay. Ooh, I like it. Custom. And then what is this? Actually, you know what? I think I probably want to do device default. Probably. Yeah, but then I can't customize the video format. Okay, so I gotta do custom. Let's say it's 720p, right? 1280 by 720. And then we could do, this can only do YUV. Okay. Or YUY2, I mean. Okay. Now that is, oh, that's hilarious. It's literally, this is a slim. Not a super slim, but just a slim. Because the super slims, you can only put hen on, which is like it's custom firmware kind of. It's custom firmware that you have to load every time, or before every time that you want to play. So you can't like install custom firmware into the NAND or whatever. You have to run a program every time. All right, so now I can make, it's funny to see OBS, when you add a new capture card in OBS, it actually shows you the native resolution in your canvas. So I have a 4K canvas. And then, like, if it's a 720p capture card, it just, like, puts it, like, a third of the screen in a little tiny thing. It's kind of funny. Okay, so then that's there. Okay, so now, actually, I might have to tweak the mode. Is this limited? It looks like the color space. I don't know. I'm not sure what the right color space and color range. I'm assuming limited because full did not look right. Okay, so now I need to get out of studio mode. Then on here, let's add a new text. We'll call it native. Native. Oh, what text size? Shoot. What's the text size I was using here? Let's see. I'm using, don't know. Make smaller. Okay, so now you can see on the right is the native PlayStation 3 output, 720 in this case. And on the left is the upscaled Morph. Hen is not optimal. Yeah, I just Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not super duper like into up to date PS3 stuff. That's what took me so long to get ready for the stream, was to figure out loading games and everything. So yeah. Okay, so let's get out of this game. I'm sure you guys have seen enough of these these automated bots just fighting each other. What's a new fun game that we can do? Unfortunately, when the Magewell card loses signal, it has this very garish... Oh, it's a very quick... it gets synced very quickly compared to the Evermedia cards. It has this very garish, like, rainbow background that's very annoying. How about, like, Assassin's Creed? That's kind of fun. That's a game I like playing. But it's not a 1080i game. I don't know if I have a 1080i game. Is there... Can we... Let me Google it. $1080i PS3 games. Okay, let's do one of these. Hold on a minute. Metal Gear Solid 4. Is it a 1080i game? Or at least as a setting? Oh, I'm not sure what the Magewell is going to do with the 1080i signal. See how quickly the Magewell's on the right. Dang. But you need to disable 720p in the settings. Oh, okay. Long intro. Dang. Okay. Well. All right, well, let's get out of here. Shoot. Dang. I had this... Ratchet and Clank. Is that true? All right, so either way, it sounds like we have to uncheck 720p, I guess. So I might as well do that in the background. Metal Gear Solid is a weird resolution that is slightly higher than 720p, but not by much. Okay, so I guess Call of Duty. Ridge Racer 7. Okay, so we could try that. We could disable 1080p and 720p. And 480p. Disable everything except for... that's funny. What kind of... Oops, shoot. What kind of a TV that you would you have to have only... only supports 1080i. You can't turn off 480p. Okay. So that, I guess? Or do we need to keep 1080p on? All right, let's try Ridge Racer, because that's a good locked 7 or 60 FPS game. Okay. That's a good idea. I don't know if the Magewell is going to like the interlaced signal. The Morph doesn't even like the interlaced. Oh, it worked. Oh, that was just the Morph. This wasn't even both. So this is native. Oh, hey, well, this wouldn't be 1080i yet. So let's go back. No, how do I save? Enter. Set audio out. Oh, finish. Okay, so what resolution is this now? This is just going to say 720p because we're in the XMB. Oops. Oh, my morph. Okay, let me go just to the morph. The screen is on the other side. Ooh, 1080i and the X and B. Woo! All right, let's load up Ridge Racer. See what 1080i does. I know maybe this is not ideal. I know there's probably sort of edge casey games, and there are so many PlayStation 3 games. Like it was impossible for me to prepare to everything. Maybe it was not a great idea to pick just the popular games, but. All right, let's change this back. I have about 8 trillion remotes that I need to control everything. Is this in 1080i? It sure is. All right, let's get into the game. Well, at least the opening scene here was.
Ridge Racer.
Ridge Racer.
Welcome to the world of Ridge Racer. Ridge State Grand Prix.
Okay, I guess we put this here. Just my specialties, racing games and fighting games, not. Those are the two games that look good, I guess, on this console. HD CRTs that won't support 720. Okay, so this is 1080i. Yep. Just for ha-has, I just wanted to put the I just want to put both of them. So this is the RetroTink on the right and the Morph on the left. Oh, they still have that those filters on. Oh God.
Slipstreaming.
It does like automatically turn you. It's very strange because I'm trying to hit the brake and it's already turning me, so that throws me off a lot. Oh! Okay, what is happening? Okay, well, I didn't brake it early enough and it blew up. It is sort of strange, but it does seem that there's more latency. A little bit like they're both of the scalars are not the same, so it's hard when you look at both of them on the screen. Is what I meant. It's a little jarring. So I'll just do the Morph right now. That might annoy some people having that split screen.
This isn't gonna be easy. Oh yeah.
No. After this, I want to do another race, but with the interpolation to sharp. I mean, this doesn't look bad for 1080i. Do you guys notice any weird issues?
Looks like you really got your hands full.
Oh god. Well, so much for winning.
Here comes the final corner.
Fail. Get out of here, fourth place guy.
Now let's go to the next race.
What am I outputting the OLED? I'm outputting the whatever the Morph is doing to the 1080i. Let's turn off that soft interpolation. Put sharp, I guess. Let's just compare in the menu here. This is a particular game that, like, especially since it is 1080, also the text doesn't really bother me as much when using the sharp interpolation. Ridge Drifter 7, yeah. Automatic drift simulator. Hold on, I gotta take my sweatshirt off. With the with the PS3 in my room, it's like 1,000 degrees. Not to mention the fact that I have 2 computers running, but the one in my background's really not doing anything. I think I'm also gonna sit too. Okay. Yep, those games still haven't come from eBay yet. Oh well. PS3 Slim rocket ship. Yeah. Yeah, it's taken off. It's not that bad. It was better than after before I pasted it. It was like loud and I mean it's about the same heat. It really didn't. I gotta fix my microphone. The heat really didn't change. Both the CPU and the GPU, they run at like 65 degrees with nothing, doing nothing. 65C, just doing nothing. It's got the need to sit. There is some weird warbly things, but I think this game has a weird like depth of field, or like yeah, I guess like a depth of field where like stuff farther away is out of focus, and so like you get some kind of weird artifacting when at the spots where it. Well, this is a kind of a cool map. I've only ever played that one map that we just played. Speaking of games that are all about drifting, Crash Team Racing, the new one, that game is like nothing but drifting. It's like Mario Kart, but you have to drift all the time or you're gonna lose. Like, that's insane. Like, there's no game that should be like, yeah, you can't play this game. If you're a kid, forget about it, because you wouldn't be able to drift all the time. I don't know, I found it frustrating. Get out of here, guy. Whoa! Whoa! Eat it, guy. This is a kind of a fun arcadey game. You don't really have to think that hard about it. Can I scroll up 3 wobbling pixels? Can you park the car on the middle of the road, zoom in on your system, and then switch between the different settings on both scalars? Okay. Yeah, I guess so. So like you want some stuff in the background, I guess, or the car. What is happening? No, brake. Put the brake on. All right. Let's get some stuff. How about like the bridge? Ugh, this is not a good spot. Let's see. Let's go up here. I don't know. Is the bridge a good spot? I don't know. Oh, what's up? Oh God. Okay, I have to get to a spot where it's not. How do I back up? Oh, I guess I can't. Oops, hit the wrong button. I don't know. I guess this is fine. People are gonna be driving past me. All right. I don't really know what I'm looking for.
Come on, wake up.
Come on, wake up. Shush, lady. All right, let me see. I'll create a copy. A copy of both. And then I can do, I'll put them both the same side. Then maybe like, I don't know what I'm going to be looking at, the car, I guess. I'm not sure, Devin. I thought about that, and oh no, in 3 minutes it's gonna turn off. Okay. How do I? Let's see. Transform. Size. Is there like a thing? Is there like a zoom thing here? Sorry guys, I'm trying to do this live. I don't really know the best way to do that. I can just zoom it in, I guess, like halfway. This seems sort of sus. Wait a minute. Hold on, it's all right. We're working on it. I don't really know what I'm going to be looking at, but car, text. I can zoom in a little more. Now let me set the so the RetroTink still had its Lanczos, whatever. Let's turn that off. I don't know what I'm looking for. Just you want to see just interpolation stuff or de-interlacing? How did bilinear sharp get set back in? Oh, maybe it's per resolution. So it was already on sharp. Okay. Let's get out of here. Menu, get out. Okay. Now the morph probably. I think it was in the soft. Yeah. Set to sharp.
30 seconds remaining.
do. Great, just in time for 30 seconds remaining. I don't really have a great way, so now let me, if I do full screen preview. I guess if I had to say that, I mean, I think that the scale errors are the same. Oh, well, level's over. We'll get back into the race, find a spot. The colors, oh wait, don't I have to do the color thing? Colors look drastically different when you zoom them in. All right, let me see if I can get to just a normal, like a unlimited time race. I just changed it to here. Arcade. Is there a way to like turn off the time limit maybe? Well. No, there I should have, I think I set the RetroTink to sharp. Or no, the Morph to sharp. So they're both on sharp. So that's the Morph settings. And then the RetroTink. Go back. Oops, shoot. Just bilinear sharp here. Isn't there a color, like the auto gain thing? Is that its own menu? There's a lot more settings that you can change in the RetroTink. I don't know if like there would be different profiles to give you the best, or you'd have to mess with this for specific games. Like this is way outside of my comfort zone, messing with any of that stuff. Check color range on both. Okay, so that'd be an HDMI output probably. Full. Oh, I don't know why. Let's put it to frame gen. Maybe that's why they were off before. Or not together. Okay, so on frame lock. Okay. So that's all set. Let me just double check the RetroTink. Or no, the Morph, sorry. See, there's almost no, well, I guess there's some, right? But I don't know what you would change to adjust it. So I just left it on all the default settings. Let's see, output resolution. Or it would probably be under advanced video. So minimal, I believe, is the, like, I don't know if it's called frame gen or if it's the same, but that's the lowest latency. Color space, I suppose you could... No, we don't want to adjust that. It doesn't say... I mean, now they're the same, right? Were they the same before? Okay, maybe that's what it was. You have to specifically say in the Morph screen, or the RetroTink screen, or yeah, the Morph screen. Okay. Now they should be the same. No profiles needed for PS3. Let's just do simple zoom in. Yeah, okay. How do you do it, Wobbling Pixels? Is there like a certain zoom in percentage that you do? Like, I can look into it for next time. Obviously, I'm not going to Google OBS settings, but if I could come up with some filters or something in OBS where I could just easily apply a zoom thing, I'd like to kind of make something. But if you have like if you do 200% or 300% or something, that way, you know, we could try to compare. Oh, all right. So I don't know. Get the car just over here. Get some text. Oh gosh, both of them are playing at the same time. Sorry. There we go.
What are you
Oh,
doing?
the car's. What are you doing? Oh, that is funny. Oh, I guess this is kind of a good test because the car is rolling backwards down the hill. I did not. Just do it as you like. Okay, yeah, the colors were different. I guess before. I don't know if that was an auto thing. I don't know the case where I don't know. Would it be a console specific thing, or would it be per game thing that you would change the color to full or limited? All right, let me make this big. I don't know. I don't really know what we're looking for. I don't know if this is a game bug. Or it's probably the de-interlacing, right? The spoiler is freaking out on kind of both of them. I don't know if that's a de-interlacing issue. Oh my god, this guy almost took me out. Whoa, guy just slammed into me, jerk. I would say that the text is not any different. I mean, it's still not incredibly sharp. It's not really. I have the full picture from the Morph on my screen. It's not super duper sharp. I mean, again, we're zooming in. I can zoom in more, but this is double zoom. This is twice zoomed in, or yeah, 200%. The colors still look weird, and I don't know if that's a full versus limited thing. It's very, very subtle, but all right. Yeah, I mean, I would say that this is probably worst case scenario for both, like interlaced game, especially, you know, but I don't know if there's a game that is only can't do set like the highest resolution it could do is 1080i. Hey! Yeah. Yeah, I would say like the mirror. If you look at the side mirror, the mirror is sharper. But the road, the road is bothering. Well, I guess the road bothers me in both. Like there's like stones or something in the road that are they're like flickering, right? Like both of them are pretty much doing it. I don't know how well that comes across on the stream, but however, the bumper, if you look at the bumper, the rear bumper on the RetroTink, it doesn't look as good. This is super subjective. I mean, you could really pick this stuff apart. This is probably not how you're going to be enjoying it on your screen, but yeah, I'd be curious to see the difference between the new de-interlacing stuff or is that interlacing? Or no, interpolation is different. Is it interpolation or interlacing what Mike is working on now? Maybe we could look at like the smoothing. So like, I'm gonna adjust. We have 3 minutes before this race ends. I'm gonna adjust like I'm gonna put the smooth. Ooh, let's see what that's what the smoothing algorithm XPR looks like on the Morph. Oh wait, I have to hit enter. Did that even do anything? I don't know why it moved the screen. Okay, for this game in particular, this XBR did not really seem to do anything. That's the smoothing algorithm. So let's turn on from sharp, go from sharp interpolation to smooth or soft. All right, let's look at soft.
What are you doing?
What are you doing? I'm looking at my scaler. I can't really tell a difference. It could be like, is this like interlacing artifacts are showing up more than, or like anti-aliasing, I suppose, like the edge of the car, rather than. It's sort of annoying because you have to do both at once. I wish there was like a way to lock the interpolation. They don't really seem to make a difference that much, at least in this game. At least 1080i. I can't really tell the difference. If this is maybe like 720i or something, maybe. But I just toggled all the interpolation settings, and I don't think you could have told at all that I did that. On the Morph, at least. All right, let me see. I think 4K does have a smoothing option for interlaced content with the latest update. Yeah, I'm gonna wait till the that update is public first. No, Replicant, I know. I'm just I'm looking for sort of edge cases. I know this game looks better in 1080p, but edge cases meaning like, you know, 1080i where the scalars have to de-interlace the game, and just seeing the performance. So this is like not a great, like it's not a fast moving game. I think a fast, maybe let's try this again with a fighting game. Let's go back to Dead or Alive and see if we can find a better, something with some movement like that. I don't have to do anything, that I can just look at it. I mean, I don't want to do, so maybe Street Fighter. Do I have Street Fighter?
10 seconds.
Oh, XBR doesn't work with Interlaced. Got it. It didn't look like those interpolation settings did anything with the Interlaced game either. Okay, so do I have Street Fighter? Just a different fighting game. Little Big Planet. What's the difference between Street Fighter and Super Street Fighter? Don't know. Whatever, I'll just do Street Fighter. Oh, I don't have Street Fighter 5. Okay, well, 4 it is. Oh, XBR on both? Okay, I didn't think about that. I can turn it on when we get into this game. To be honest, at least on my screen, or my monitor, or my TV, I mean, I couldn't tell the difference if it was on or off. Same with this interpolation setting, so I don't know if it's maybe depends on the resolution. All right, let's see if I can get to a.
Street Fighter 4.
Oh God, what resolution is this? It's 480p. Is this game not have a 1080i mode? Sure. Okay, well. Okay. This is not what I want then. 40p? Ultra Street Fighter 4. Oh, Street Fighter 5 is on the PS4. So what's the difference between Street Fighter and Super Street Fighter? Boobment? Hold on a minute. Street Fighter 4 versus Super Street Fighter 4. Street Fighter 4 is the original game. Super Street Fighter is the upgrade. And then Super Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition is the upgrade to Super Street Fighter. So they have more characters in it? Latest tweaks. Okay, so there's game patches. Oh, there is an Ultra Street Fighter 4. What the hell? Okay. Well, I don't think this is going to be a good game for this. Let's see if we can find another game maybe that I don't have to really, or that we can zoom in. You want to see a terrible? Does how about Assassin's Creed? That's fine. Let's do Assassin's Creed. I already have a save with Brotherhood. I can zoom in. Ah, more bounce. I see. Yeah, because so back before the days of like internet patch or heavy internet patching and stuff, they would just re-release the game or something. Okay, press the start button. We're doing that. Got it. Oh, what's the resolution of this? Okay, 1080i, that's good. I'll just leave the menu up until we actually get into it. Oh, God. There's some stutter on this logo. Ubisoft logo, too good. Well, I guess I want you guys to understand that I really am not the best person to be conducting these kind of, like, you know, tests. Like, I don't have a good handle of all the different settings. Wobbling Pixels has way more handle on that sort of thing. But just to be honest, I mean, I wouldn't even consider messing with any of these things anyways. I would just play the game. You know, I would try it, you know. That's the kind of cool thing about profiles is it's kind of, well, not to say that it's placebo, but to some people like myself, knowing that there's a profile for your exact setup, right? Like your type of cables, and you know that the author of the profile did all their best effort to like make it look as good as possible for that console. That takes a lot of weight off of my shoulders when I enable that sort of thing. So. Unfortunately, the Morph won't have profiles. I guess there are. Apparently, there are profiles in the web UI, but they won't be. I don't think they're going to be part of the UI, the normal UI, the OSD, until the analog update, analog bridge comes out. So I think that will be the true test of whether or not there will be feature parity there. I really do. Maybe that's. Let me switch it to that close up. Is that really going to? Let me see. Oh, God, his feet. Is there... I guess I can spin him. Spin your guy. Does that make sense, what I'm saying about the profiles thing? I mean, it seems silly, but for people who are purchasing these things, that stuff really matters a lot. Like, knowing that somebody else put a lot of effort to make it look as good as possible for that console. So they don't have to do all the work to actually tweak all the settings themselves. Maybe there might be like game specific things they might have to tweak, but wow, there really is like no dead zone. Zoom up on his face. Okay, so I have to like shoop. It's hard to get them both at the exact same spot. Let me get to a bright spot. Okay, I think that's kind of close enough. I wish I had a filter, an OBS transform filter already made that I could just add it. You're the best person because you're the only person doing it. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, and that's why I guess obligated is not necessarily the right word because I, believe it or not, I actually enjoy having all the scalars and things like. I'm going to try to find a different way to zoom this in. Like, back when the 5X when it was just the 5X, basically was the best scalar. And I guess you could argue the OSSC was good as well. But as far as ease of use and the menu and things, it was really the, I'm just going to unzoom all these and then find a better way to zoom this in. Hold on, I'm trying to I'm making a point, I swear. with the RetroTink 5X, there really was no option, so it was kind of like, it was fine. Like, there was no real, not war, but like, there's no option, so you couldn't really like compare things together. But now that you have options, it's sort of like, it's a sort of too many options for me to know, to select it. Okay, so let me make these full screen, and then I'll find a way to like zoom in. Let's see, how about, let me see in filters, is there like a zoom filter? There's a sharpen, nope. Scroll, scaling, aspect ratio. No, I don't want to do that. Nope. Okay. Let's go back to transform. Okay. How about, it really doesn't let you zoom in. All right, let me just Google this. I'm sorry. I know you guys don't actually see the freaking game, but and there's no, is there a way for me to get closer to this? Oh God. Hey there, buddy. Zoom up to his face. Okay. This is not, oh wait, okay, let me go back. All right, hold on, wait a minute. Let me just Google, maybe there's a plugin or something. Zoom to capture cards the same OBS. No, that's not what I wanted to Google. How about zoom in OBS? Sure. Wow, really? The only way to zoom in is to just click and drag and make it bigger? Okay. This game is like, I wish I was like outside or something. I'm just gonna walk around. This zooming in thing is not happening right now. I'm gonna put them both side by side. I'll just put it with this and I'll play the game a little bit. I wanted to do the zoom in thing, but I don't know if it's gonna happen. I guess we could try the let's see what well, is that what you guys wanted to see? That filtering, the XPR or whatever it is. So let me try zooming in with that, with just the morph. my PlayStation's taken off. Let's look at this. Let's actually see if there's like an outside area. Oh God, this looks terrible. It mostly looks terrible because it's interlaced still. Okay, there's like a outsidey part. Oh God. Okay, wait. I'm just gonna play the game, I think. Wait a minute. There we go. We are clear for liftoff. Seriously. Oh, that's right. XPR doesn't work on this. That's right. You said that already. Dang. Okay. It doesn't look bad. I mean, if I didn't know any better and if I accidentally had 1080p off, I would be fine with this. This is pretty much right at the beginning of the game, so I don't think you're really missing much. Although this is like the sequel to what, Assassin's Creed 2? I've never played this one. I played most of the other Assassin's Creeds, but I don't think I've ever played this one. So hopefully there's no spoilers, but it is an old game, so deal with it. Oh, we got trapped.
Than in the hands of man. Uncle, what can I say? We sent a single man against an entire army. I was worried. Quick, climb up. We have to get out of here.
What is this? Is this soft? Or is it still sharp? Now the text is here on the screen. Let me put soft. I'm just trying to see if it does anything. I can't really tell, honestly. The interpolation doesn't really seem to do anything with the text. Even if it was off. And that could be just the interpolation. Eagle vision. Oh boy. Okay. Follow the highlighted path. Oh, R1 to climb. And X. What? Oh, he just kind of auto climbs. Okay.
You would not believe the things I have seen, Mario.
Then be sure to stay alive that I might hear of them.
This game doesn't look that bad either. When I played Uncharted, it looked awful. So it just had a really terrible frame rate. Oh. Hello, people.
Assassini! God will see you pay for your crimes! You have desecrated the sanctity of this holy place!
You condemn what you do not understand.
We must go, Ezio. Now!
Is it the voice of
Ooh,
the
peasants.
Run away from them!
Gentle push? Oh, I didn't gentle push any of those guys. Is there any hiccups when it... No, not really. Maybe FPS drops, but... I don't know if there's really any tearing. I don't know. Let me know if you guys see any tearing or anything in the stream, because I'm trying to pay attention to running. I mean, this game looks really good. Dang, when did this game come out? There's all these cool reflections. I know they're fake, but
Be ready to fight.
What are you doing?
Saving you from the look of things.
Not bad for an old man.
Agreed. You still have some skill.
Buona questa.
Excellent. Good one. Impressive.
what? They slit that guy's throat. You saw a huge tear. Yeah, I don't know if that was the game or the capture or the de-interlacing. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna make this full screen. I won't be able to see the. What just happened? I won't be able to see. Oh yeah, okay. I think it's the game. To be honest, like this part where the FPS kind of goes down a little bit.
Please, be careful, Mister.
Yeah, when I just kill those guys, I can feel like slow down. I don't think that's anything to do with the scaler. It's just this game. What the? It really just expects you to know all these moves. Like this is like the very beginning of this game. I guess this would have been right after you, right after the other games. But like, huh? There's no like running tutorial or anything. Oh gosh, the FPS. Can HQ2? I don't know if. Let's see. Oh, I was in XBR this whole time. I couldn't tell at all. That's because you have to hit save. You have to hit the OK button. Whoops. I sort of wish that, although you know it might be intrusive to the game, I wish that you could see when you have different like not auto setting. Come on, get down. Oh, drop. When you have, oh god, is this where I'm supposed to be, or I'm supposed to be up here? I wish that it would like show a little icon or something on the screen in the corner. Maybe if like XBR is on, or like filtering or something. Or different, whatever, interpolation. Like, wish you could, instead of like bring up a full HUD. Best graphics on the PS3 will be Uncharted 2. I wish that it would, yeah. Does that make sense? Like a little logo or something that says, "Oh, hey, XBR is on." Just so that you don't forget if you want to switch to another. Come on, this game. I'm gonna rage, climbing up this damn box. I guess you really just have to hold X the whole time. Oh, what's up, guy? You down there now? Okay. It's kind of funny. So this is that, what did I say it was? HQR. Oops. HQX, yeah. Text is not really any sharper. It just kind of looks not sharp. Let me turn it off. I mean, the difference between off and XPR is basically nothing. Is there a difference between this and that? I don't know. I do have a feeling that the interlacing probably is throwing it off. Not throwing it off, but like making it not as sharp or something. What's up, guy? Where do you want to go? What are we supposed to do right now? This guy's just chilling. What's up, dude? No smoothing will work. Well, I mean, it shifts the screen. What are you doing, guy? Where are we supposed to be going? Okay, I'm gonna guess the red things? Is that where we need to go? Oh, gosh. Follow Mario closely. Mario is stuck. Mario is just trolling me right now. Oh, he's stuck. Unstuck. Okay, I kept forgetting that the smoothing doesn't do anything, but the screen seems to move, shift in that other one. It's the HBR. Can you imagine if they launched with just the cell, no RSX, like they originally planned?
Only do so quickly.
Huh.
Give it to me. You can do with it as you will later.
Bene.
Jump!
All right, let's just get to a save point, then we can play a different game, because this is kind of too much. Well, I want to turn back on 1080p. Maybe we'll play this game again, but with the 1080p. This is the last one you played? I haven't played this one. I actually really like 3. I liked 1 and 2 because that was the same. Like I liked the fact that the first couple had that same story. Well, I think actually I can't remember. It's been a very long time since I played. I'm gonna save it and turn 1080p back on. Well, I'm guessing it saves by itself then.
Disaster that occurred long ago, and another that is coming.
I'm guessing it saved already. I didn't mind 3. I liked that like colonial time period. 4 was good. I didn't beat 4. I didn't get very far into it, but that was the cool. Black Flag was the cool ship one. But the ones afterwards, like the one where you're in like Egypt or whatever, there was just a lot of like open worldy stuff to do. And I don't think they continued on with the Desmond story or whatever. I can't remember. Oh, it's the last game in the Ezio trilogy. Okay, I'll have to play it because I really, actually, I should play them all three of them again. But that's just so much game to play. Let's go back into that same game and see if we can mess around with those smoothing settings. Okay, finish. Okay. $1080p. Oh, it ends in AC3. I can't remember. It's been a really long time. Oh, the Desmond part. So Ezio is the original character from the first game. That was the first one you played. Was 3. I remember 1 and 2 being like, they were the types of games where there was some kind of like open worldy kind of like stuff for you to do, challenges and stuff in the world, but it was like they were kind of simple. So it was kind of a nice, well, it was okay to like go around, like roam around and like unlock the different towers. I can't believe that Ubisoft logo stutters in the beginning there. That's crazy. But I liked, you know, wandering from one spot to the next and like unlocking all the different like maps and stuff as I was walking in the first ones. And then eventually it just became, there's just so many side quests that like, I don't know. That's just not how I like to play games. I don't 100% games that much. Okay, I don't 100% games at all. Okay, what are we in? Are we in 1080p again? Oh yeah, 720. That is interesting. So because we disabled 720, I wonder if that was causing some of those frame issues, the stuttering. That's interesting. So now we're in 720p. Huh.
And then Minerva talked about the
So now let's mess with that.
She
Let's
told
turn
of a
the
disaster that occurred long
smoothing on, I
ago,
guess.
And another that is coming.
Sometime far in the future, Vero. Then we need not worry about it.
See. Perhaps our work is finished.
Would that be so bad?
XPR. Let's leave it on XPR for a bit. So now this is actually doing something. Okay. Oh, Ezio is 2, Brotherhood and Revelation. Oh, that's right. Altair or whatever his name is in the first game. Got it. No, I know it can't run all games in 1080p. I was watching the I mentioned before that I was watching that Digital Foundry with John Lennon when he was talking about all the 1080p games for the PS3. That's why I downloaded, that's why I got Ridge Racer, because he said that was one of the better games. It looked, I mean, better looking games, I guess. So, but it's interesting when you disable 720p. How do I trot fast like this? I guess. Just don't do anything. I don't know. I always found it awkward to walk alongside somebody in these games because the AI like doesn't keep up, and then they wait for you. Yeah, but it's interesting how it went to 1080i when 720p was disabled and 1080p was off.
Welcome back, Ezio.
I wonder what would have happened if you had 1080i off also. Just go to 4 well, obviously it would go to 480p.
Two of them.
This place just keeps getting
But if you had 1080p on and 1080p and 480p, it would just go to 480p. You hook PS3 to a PVM. Some games play so well as Ultra Street Fighter 2. Yeah, I bet you games like that would be fun. Would be good. You know, low latency. Yeah, I bet you those would be nice. Especially if you had like a one of those 16:9 CRTs, the multi, what are those called, the multi format or whatever.
Is the Spaniard truly dead?
Gather the others in Mario's study tonight.
I don't hate the smoothing. I mean, I'm not sure exactly what it's doing compared to not smoothing, but
They will have many questions.
Claudia, tell the Contessa I look
it doesn't
forward
bother me.
to seeing her this
Seems to
evening.
make it like the sharp edges are not so annoying when they're scaled from 720. Your next available memory is always shown on your mini-map. Huh? Am I supposed to be doing something right now? Going somewhere? Oh, mini-map? These things? Memory start. Okay, so I've got to go to these things. Got it. See you later, dude. Get the heck out of my way. Is that PS3? Amazing graphics. Yeah, this game is not bad. I guess it is very game specific. I would go watch that. Go watch the Digital Foundry thing where John Lennon talks for like 5 hours about all the 1080p games on the PS3, because there's so many games. There's a lot of games on the PS3. XBR smoothing is for pixel art. Okay, well.
The men in this town
Okay.
are no better than little girls. And
So you want me
nobody
to not
should
use
hurt
it then?
them. And look, no one. Cazzo! This box is heavy. I always get stuck with this.
Why does HQX
The men in
shift
this town
so
are no
far?
better than little girls. An army should be helping me.
interesting.
And look, no one.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really seem to do that much. It does,
Box is heavy.
like the UI gets smoothed out, right? Like the things in the bottom left.
I always get stuck with this.
So I mean, that might be a benefit. I mean, I'm like I said earlier, I'm not super expert with the different settings, but does HQX look better
This
than
box is heavy.
the UI? I mean,
I always get stuck with this.
I don't know. Let's try this HQX one.
Cazzo. Ah,
XPR is not Extrems
the men
approved.
in
Well,
this town are no
sorry.
better than little girls.
I did warn you, or did say that side effects of watching the stream on Twitter was using the wrong scaler settings. But this is kind of what I'm talking about, right? Like,
This box is heavy.
you cannot expect that everyone that's going to own this device is going to be an expert with what settings to use, right? So either, you know, make the UI such that it tells you information about what the settings do. And this is not a Morph or a RetroTink specific gripe.
No one.
I guess it's both, or all of them, right? Like, we're in an age now where we can actually have more things on the screen in an OSD to explain what the settings are, what they might be useful for,
I always
right?
get stuck with this.
as opposed to having to go look them up or something, like
The
look
men in this
on
town
a
are no
guide
better
or
than
something,
little girls.
like from the
An army
unit,
should
like
be
so I don't have
helping
to
me. And look,
switch
no
what I'm
one.
doing. You know, does that make sense? That would be a cool feature, I think.
Need some help.
Salve.
Like I'm just,
So
it's
many
just a
flowers.
yeah.
Your husband must be very lucky.
I am the lucky one. I have you here to aid me.
Let me see what I can do.
Back there, I may have given you the wrong
Okay, high res
impression.
2D games.
I
Got it.
have no husband. The flowers are for a party.
Am I invited?
To Claudia Auditori's birthday
Oh,
party in the
pick up
villa.
this lady's
If you are willing
flowers.
to help me again,
Let's go.
I need someone with class to accompany me.
What makes you think I have class?
I could tell the moment I saw you. No one in this town walks with such bearing. I'm certain Ezio Auditori himself would be impressed.
Oh? What do you know of Ezio?
Claudia thinks the world of him, but he rarely visits her. From what I gather, he's distant.
She is right. I have been.
Oh no. You? The party was intended to be a surprise. Promise you will not tell Claudia.
What will you do to keep me quiet?
I am sure
I like
can
how they
think
go
of
up the stairs like
several
on a ramp.
I'll be waiting to hear them.
The
when we
stairs
get
are just there for no reason, and then just whoop, let's go up the slope. I don't know. So if it was me, I would just have everything off. Everything, all the smoothing would be off. That's how I would play the game. Oh, she's gone. Oh no, she's there. I do think that maybe the interpolation is nice. Especially for games that are so sharp, like you can see the edges. They're like really pronounced,
Now about her,
where like the
my
edge of a
silence.
character meets the background or
I
something.
have something in mind.
So it's like
There
too
is one
sharp, not
condition.
too sharp, but like it
must
detracts
listen
from the
to
game,
tomorrow.
not like it doesn't
If it pleases you, I will not
add
stand
to
in
it,
your
you know.
way.
It will be worth the wait.
Where's the booba?
Ezio.
We already had booba with Dead or Alive. This looks like some dude from the 16th century. Is that it? Did I just finish? I guess. All right. Well, yeah, you'll have to go back. You'll have to go back and watch the VOD and see the Dead or Alive part because I had some cutscenes with that. Well, I feel like this was sort of an unsuccessful, not unsuccessful, but like not satisfying. You know, my knowledge of the PS3 is low. This generation that is 720p, 1080i, 1080p, it sort of confuses me because there's not lots of, but there are different types of settings that you can set right between. Obviously, I think motion adaptive de-interlacing is probably the setting to keep on, but for each scaler, there's options that you can tweak, I suppose, to make it look better or worse. And obviously, right now, even as we speak, I think Mike is working on a new update for the RetroTink 4K. So but in this case, like, it would either be 720p if you have it enabled 720p or 1080p. I don't know if a game would go to 1080i. I don't know if there's a game. So there could be edge case things where like some games are just 1080i and then you're falling back to the de-interlacer. But as far as not interlaced games, I mean, they both look fine, and I don't know enough about the smoothing modes, like which one to use when. Like I said, I would just have them off. However, like I was saying, there are parts where you can see jaggies, like the edges of characters. They're so sharp that it doesn't look good. It detracts from the rest of the image. So I don't know what the answer is, right? Like a guide to how to use the smoothing filters for different types of games. Maybe a profile. I'm just talking just theoretically, right? Because the Morph doesn't have profiles yet. But like a guide or something to when to use those different settings. How they might make the games look good. Again, I think a really cool feature would be to have them on screen, like in the OSD, to be able to have a little like, or even if it's not like in that, well, ideally it would be under the setting. So when you change the setting, it would have a little text that would say, here's what this setting is good for. At least those filter parts, and especially the interpolation. I gotta be honest, man. I'm not super duper smart when it comes to knowing the difference between interpolation or integer scaling. I know vaguely that, but as far as which one to use, when to use zooming, when to not, when to, obviously for these games it doesn't matter because 720p and 1080p are multiples of 4K, or 4K is a multiple of both of those resolutions, so there's not really any zooming to do. But lower resolutions, right? So that's what I would like to see for the benefit of everyone, not just the benefit of, I don't think it's good enough just to have those options exposed, but to like make it simpler to use them like when you're playing a game. So right now that's why I'm saying I'm not satisfied, I suppose, because I'm like, I just feel like I'm dumb. Like, not, and don't take, I don't think that you guys are calling me dumb. It's just I feel bad. I don't feel smart. Like I was really dreading this stream specifically because I knew I wasn't gonna know what to really look for enough where I'm like, no, I mean, I put myself out there. I have no problem with that. Like I have no problem making myself look like a fool if the right answers come out, right? Like the right settings to use for different types of things. But until there are profiles really, or just like better, a guide, I suppose, as far as which settings to use, I'm just like, I don't know, I would just turn everything off. But like I said, there's settings that make it look better, even better than that. So in the future, the RetroTink 8K might upscale 8K with black frame insertion. Yeah, or even you wouldn't even need 8K. You could just use an HDMI, if there's an HDMI 2.1 chip, because right now both of these scalers use an HDMI 2.0 HDMI, probably an IC, some kind of a HDMI generator, whatever, frame generator thing. But they're 2.0, which means they're limited to 4K 60 FPS. But if there ever was a time where there could be a HDMI 2.1, which is 4K high refresh rate, then you could have your cake and eat it too. You could have black frame insertion and 4K. But that might make the cost a lot higher. I don't even know if those exist. Plus, I don't know. Maybe there's a lot more FPGA processing power. So that's the reason why you don't. They're limited. They're not really like full 4K. Maybe there will be RetroTink 4K Pro. So that's the problem with having. That's the problem with having this one be the RetroTink 4K Pro, whereas there's nowhere else to go up above this. HDMI 2.1 is not. I don't think it's a shit show. I don't know. What do you mean? I mean, all the new consoles use it. Oh, as far as people having screens that have it, sure, I agree. I don't think enough people have. We're just getting there now where screens are affordable. And by affordable, it's still like good screens with 2.1 HDMI 2.1 in them are still $400, $500, $600, $700. Like that's not affordable for most people. So. Yeah. Just reading the comments here. Not a lot of 1080i games. Okay. We'll talk about what's next in a second, Renee. Tink LSS. Yeah, that'd be kind of interesting. Kind of like AI frame generation. I wish I had a base model. I wish I had a PS4 at all. That was the generation that I skipped, unfortunately. I don't have either. So I guess a little history of my gaming. I mean, you don't need to go way back, but I was an Xbox gamer. So I guess I had all three consoles for the original Xbox, the PlayStation 2, and the GameCube. I had all three. But then the next generation, I only had a Xbox 360 when I was growing up. So I didn't have a PlayStation 3 until pretty recently. And then I pretty much was a PC gamer after that. So I didn't have, not like a hardcore PC gamer, but like I played MMOs and stuff and like League of Legends and stuff. Like not like high-end games, but like multiplayer games. So I didn't play that many games in the Xbox One / PS4 era. And then it was like kind of not too late, but like I didn't care when the Pros came out because I wasn't already playing the Xbox. So my first new gen console was the PS5. So I don't have a PS4. And actually I was hoping when the PS5 came out, I was hoping PS4 Pros would go on super sale. Like people would eBay them for cheap. it's amazing how, you know, not even counting like inflation, but it's amazing how much PS4 and the Xbox One kept their value still. Like a couple $100 kept their value, which is amazing to me. So I would like to eventually one day have all of them, all the generations, right? So a PS4 and a PS4 Pro, Xbox One, maybe not the VCR one, but the base model one and the Xbox One X. I don't know if I would ever get a Series X, but, you know, so the collector in me wants them all. So many bugs with AVRs, capture cards. I think HDMI, yeah, I see what you're saying now. I think you're right. And I was just explaining it in the very beginning of this stream where the splitters don't really work well. Like some of them work, some of them don't. Like, and I don't like, how do you diagnose those issues? I don't know. So I really do feel like there is a lot of improvement. HDMI in general has a lot of work that it can do, which is kind of ironic because it's a digital signal, but it's like, it's sort of Wild West, right? And different types of devices can just kind of put out what kind of, like, sometimes they might put out malformed because of the licensing. I guess you're right? You have to pay for a license to actually have your device call itself HDMI compliant, right? I get what you're saying now. People still buy DVDs. Yeah. We should try the RetroTink 4K with PSVR. Yes, no, Nefarix, you're right. Especially when it comes to computer stuff. So, yeah, monitors and TVs and stuff. Like, actually, Linus was saying that. I was watching some Linus Tech Tips where he was talking about some people don't believe in HDR. Now, you know, I'm kind of sad. I wish that I could set up HDR. I kind of want to. I just haven't had the time to dedicate to have this be in HDR so that I could enable. Although I don't really know how accurate the HDR flag stuff is with these scalers, but, you know, something I would like to experiment with, at least we could have it out there. But Linus was saying there's a lot of people that don't believe that HDR is a thing. Like, they just think that HDR is just higher screen brightness when it's a lot more than that, right? It's just a lot more color information that normal screens can't display. And it really won't get mainstream until there's affordable. And by affordable, I mean like your $200 or $300 monitors or TVs or whatever. Well, TVs are getting there. Big TVs are getting cheap and good, but not OLED good. Like once you go OLED, everything else is not as good in my opinion. So once you have good budget OLED, 4K, high refresh rate, or even 1440p, but the key is, you know, the HDR aspect of it and high brightness. Once you start getting that, I think you'll get a lot more normies and stuff. Well, it also has to do with the content, right? The content also has to be mastered. Actually, there's a good video, too, another Linus Tech Tips. I'm sorry if I'm a Linus Tech Tips shill. But there's some NVIDIA technology where it uses AI to HDR grade standard definition movies and stuff. I'm really curious what it would do to a video game. I don't even know how you would do it because it's like coming from your computer. You'd have to use this. So maybe there could be like an OBS plugin or something. But I don't have an NVIDIA card. But you know, it really matters more when there's actual HDR content. It's not like you can just slap an SDR game in HDR. But once you have an HDR game on an HDR monitor, then it's like life changing, and the OLED even more so. That's why somebody asked a while ago, you know, get a 4K scaler or an OLED or a new screen or something, and I would say, you know, everything that you have benefits from an OLED. Every device that you have, computer, even if you can't, you know, even if you're just watching TV or you're watching YouTube videos, it's just, yeah, it's good. Brought to you by the LTT store. Yeah, that's funny. Tone mapping in real time. Yeah, you're probably right. There's you think the scalers are actually doing tone mapping to HDR? I guess maybe pixel art might not be that hard. But I always thought it was just a flag that they enabled, but maybe there is some kind of a basic, what is that called? A LUT lookup table that they apply. HDR is great when it's done correctly. HDR is broken in Windows. Yes, I agree. Well, HDR in a not good HDR TV is terrible. HDR on my OLED, fine. Auto HDR and stuff on Windows, fine. Like I have a good experience with that. But I have this computer, this monitor here is 4K. It's it's kind of a basic office kind of 4K screen. It does have 99% of the sRGB, I think, color space, which I wanted because I wanted to color grade stuff, or like when I was editing videos and stuff, I wanted to have at least that. But it doesn't look good in HDR. Like if I even turn on auto HDR, it looks awful. It looks like red stuff looks orange. It just makes colors look terrible. So it's not real HDR. Whereas the OLED, that's just life changing. Enough, it's enough change where I really don't. Well, I have been playing computer games on this. I wish both of my computers were connected over here, but I use my, it's just a long story. So, all right, enough about that. I do appreciate you guys talking about that though. If you want to have more of a conversation about that, leave a comment or tweet me, follow me on Twitter. I want to read these comments all day long. I can read this forever. A lot of people using $400 TVs, but then spend a bunch of money on everything else. Yeah, $400 TV. I mean, they look okay. Some of the new modern ones might look okay for like if you get the 55-inch ones for that price. But if you're getting some 72-inch or 75-inch TV for $400, it's going to look like butt. Basic monitors or TVs don't have high enough nits. So it's not just the nits, though. It's also the color depth, like the actual and the accuracy of the colors, which nits is not. Yeah, it's more than that. But yeah, you're right. Even yeah, I don't know. You're using a two-decade-old Apple Cinema display that you got for $20. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's one of those things where ignorance is bliss, right? Like as soon as you realize that you've been missing out on all this stuff, it breaks your brain, and you're like, now you can't think about any. Or at least for me, like I can't go back. Like once something is unlocked, like it was like HDR on an OLED, like watching TVs on this is just, or watching TV shows on this is such a better experience than what I was used to before. And especially where modern TV shows are mastered in HDR, and the SDR, like if you guys watched House of the Dragon, there are some episodes of House of the Dragon that are like almost unwatchable on a SDR screen, because you're just like, what is happening? It's just black. Everything is just black on the screen, and that's the tragedy. But we're getting there, I think. Yeah. All right, enough about HDR stuff. Like if all you've done in your life is eat steaks, or well done steaks, your parents barbecue, and then you eat at a nice steak restaurant. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. All right. So what's next? I don't know if people liked the PS3 enough for me to do the 360. Not to say not like, but like I don't know if there was as much interest as I thought there would be with the PS3. Maybe I didn't prepare enough, but I don't know. Do people want to see Xbox 360 stuff? I feel like people would probably want to see like Halo, right? Maybe Halo games or something, or Gears of War. Or do we do something like PS1 and 64, or do we want to jump into Mister? Because I feel like there's a lot of content, not content for the sake of content, but like all the cores, not going through all the cores, but like picking some of the cores. Because I know there's things like direct mode that's not great, or the compatibility is not great for some cores. I'm not really sure now what the status of those are. So it might be cool to see what if there's any compatibility issues with popular cores. So that's an option. Or I really don't know where to go from here. Maybe we'll take a break. I don't know. Maybe I'll take a break and do the Micro 8088, but the parts aren't in yet. So leave your opinions in the chat here or in the comments. Mike, I think you're kind of right. I just, some people want, like, I got yelled at the first time I did a Morph stream. that was the one where I did the Super Nintendo through the RetroTink 5X and then eventually the OSSC. People were screaming at me to do PS3, like this is for HDMI consoles only. People would say, like the Morph, I mean, like because it only has HDMI input. But like, people realize that there's like how many generations, like all these other HDMI modded consoles, or maybe they meant HDMI modded consoles and stuff too, which I guess I agree, but. Yeah, maybe I misinterpreted what people were talking about or what people wanted. Mr. stuff is far more interesting. Okay, so I can bust at the Mr. I could probably round up some games and put them on an SD card. I have an SD card. I'm just looking at my Mr. up there. I'll have to perfect that, Renee. I'll have to get a better filter, or I'll have to figure out something. There's got to be a better way than what I was doing with manually zooming in. That's stupid. I got to find a way to make it exactly the same. Figure out how to crop it exactly the same way and zoom in. So that then I can, like, I wish there was like a plugin or something so I could like drag the zoom around, right? Like zoom on his head, or like, you know, you guys were asking me to do that. You know, I suppose the N64 and the PlayStation 1 are different enough, but there's at least, is there a PS1 Mr. Core? There's at least the N64 Mr. Core. Get a small HD for the Mr. That's true. I should buy, well, this computer here is kind of like my streaming computer. I'm pointing down to this. It's kind of my RetroNAS. That's not really RetroNAS. It just has a share folder. So I could just set a bunch of shares. Like, that's not a problem. I could put all the files on my network here, and I'll just network the Mr. Do that. I do. If anybody knows a lot about Mr. stuff, and this is sort of unrelated, like I won't have time / I have like zero money. I've been buying all this stuff, and like now my wallet is very sad. But I have a second DE10 Nano, and I was interested in seeing like what's the latest and greatest, because my Mr. case is the aluminum Mr. add-ons case, and like that I bought that a few years ago. It's probably been what, like two or 3 years? Probably about 2 years, 2.5 years. What's the latest and greatest? Like, he hasn't released Mr. Add-ons hasn't released an updated version of it, right? I think he's working on an updated version of the IO Shield, but I know the Retro Castle has an alternative, right? With a so I don't know. I'm not sure what, like, nothing wrong with the Mr. Add-ons one. Maybe I'll try to update my aluminum shell to like an updated Mr. Add-ons version when he comes out with the update kits for the aluminum shells. But I wanted something different for the other DE10 Nano that I have. But the Retro Castle store, they only have full kits with the DE10 Nano already included. Is there a place that I could get just the IO Shield and the case and everything? That's what I want to do. I have a lot of retro stuff. I do. DOS is, yeah. We'll circle back to DOS when I do the micro 8088. So that's something that I think will be cool with this mini 8088 computer. So I have the parts coming. So I'll get back into. I've been itching to do some more soldering, but I don't know. I seem to get a lot more people watching when I just play games and talk about the Morph and stuff. I do have a lot of retro stuff. I mean, basically, ever since I first learned about Bob and retro RGB, I was slowly trying to get the skills to do all the mods, right? So I started the NES RGB, and then eventually the N64 RGB stuff. Like, I just tried to collect everything. Every time Bob had a thing, or there was a different page on the RGB retro RGB website, I was like, I gotta have this just in my life, way before YouTube. So I do have a big collection of things. So yeah. If you go Retro Castle, go the acrylic. Oh yeah, no, I like the look of the acrylic. It really is cool. That's why I wanted just the kit, because I have a DE10. Maybe they would buy the DE10 Nano from me, and or maybe somebody else I could sell it to somebody. But I just wanted just something different, just to compare it. Not like I need two misters. Who the hell needs two misters? Well, I guess if you have two areas of your house that is your gaming setup, but Bob is my dealer. I know he was the gateway drug, and to some extent Voltar. I mean, some people might, maybe in the past sometimes they've gotten kind of upset with his attitude or whatever, like his style, I suppose. Not really attitude, but his style. But it was Bob, Voltar, to Smoke Monster, especially with the Mr. content in that time period, and Jason from Game Tech US for sure. Like, those are all the YouTubers that were that I watched a lot before there was really all this other variety now. Not variety, but different types of retro. It was only like, here's how to do these mods, and then Bob really was doing the new stuff, and that was sort of different. And nowadays you have all sorts of stuff, from Tito, like really high production value sort of videos, even more beyond that, like Retro Game Core, that sort of style where it's like retro adjacent, and then Wobbling Pixels with like profiles and like tutorials that are not even like, there's no talking, it's just sort of showing you on the screen. Nowadays there's like so many different things, and I'm sure there's people that I don't know yet that are making videos. So, oh, I can just buy the case. Okay, interesting. Mister for a computer, and a Mister for arcade, and a Mister for retro consoles. Yeah, I mean, I think that would be a really cool setup, is to have. I've always wanted an arcade cabinet, like a stand-up one, but then I learned about the Vuelixes, like the not the candy cabs, but like the modern arcade style, where they have the 16:9 screen, and you have a little doohickey, like it's like a bench style, like you sit in front of it. So it's sort of like a candy cab, but more like cheap, I guess, like budget friendly or whatever. Like the Chinese knockoff ones, like the Chulix, whatever they're called. I wanted one of those, and like have a Mister on that would be sweet, because then you could just not have to worry about connecting things and just kind of play and navigate the menu through that. Oh, I have man, this is so many things. I have an MVS. I don't really like the MVS, to be honest. I don't really like Neo Geo because depending on the game that you play, it looks not good. The frame rate and stuff is very stuttery, and it just bothers me. I can't play it. Maybe if it was emulated, I'd probably be able to play if it was steady frame rate, but some original arcade boards are still available on AliExpress, such as Capcom CPS-1, CPS-2. Yeah, all that stuff is expensive, though. Not expensive. I mean, it is. The mods for those consoles are expensive. I know that there's the different boards for like some of like CPS2 or 3 or whatever, where you have to get an A and B board or something. Like the games are in one of the boards. I don't know. Like, it's just, I never was an arcade person, so I don't really have a lot of knowledge about that. All right, so I think maybe Mr. Depending on whether or not I get all the parts in for the Micro 8088, maybe we'll take a detour to Mr. Land, and I'll try to get all the cores up to date and try to get a bunch of ROMs ready and just see what people like or they want to do. Because I think that's probably another use case for the Morph right now. Big use case, because that's like the way to get to 4K with the Mr. Do I have analog consoles? I do. I have a lot. I have the problem is not the problem, but the hold on. I have a lot of you guys. I have a lot of. I have more analog consoles than I don't have analog. Replicant, are you relatively new to watching my videos? I'm not trying to be offensive, but before I used to have I used to sit there. The camera would be here, and you'd be able to see my cabinet here. So I have this is some of my collection. All the stuff that fits in this cabinet. The PS3 actually doesn't fit in the cabinet. So I've got 3 MVSs. I actually have that that newer 141 cart in the shock box there. So that's that new cart that Leon or someone modded so that you can have all the games on it. But that's my open MVS. There's an extra MVS there, and actually a third one down below. So the second one was my Consolizer one that I used with the super gun, minigun. But it's kind of in a little bit in, not pieces, but then my second shelf is my I I think there's the Model 1, I think it only has the jail bar fix, like the lifted pin or something. I can't remember what that one is. This is triple bypass. Oh, no. These have triple bypasses, both of those. That's right. This is my Mega HD Genesis Model 1. I've got a couple of just stock Game Gears, but that's my Game Box GGHD Game Gear Consolizer. Oh, I didn't even think about Consolizers. I have so many. This is a relatively stock Saturn, but it has the FRAM mod. DC HDMI modded Dreamcast. My original NES RGB modded NES. Twin Famicom that's broken right now. You see that cartridge is stuck. I have to fix it. But the cartridge is stuck in the, or the floppy disk is stuck in the drive. It's not modded though. There's no mods done to it yet. This is my Open Tendo with the stock power and no NES RGB. It's just a stock with the NES RGB. This is kind of my. I eventually will be putting an NES RGB 4.0 in it, but I'm waiting as long as possible because Red Herring doesn't like the NES RGB. This is a NES RGB modded top loader, the North American one. Top loader, if you didn't know, actually has worse video output than front loader, I think, in North America at least. Voltar RGB modded Super Nintendo, or Super Nintendo Junior. This is my childhood Super Nintendo stock, waiting for the 2-chip mod. The bottom PS1 has a PSIO in it. I don't know if you guys knew that. I never did it. I don't have a video about it, but I have a PSIO cart. It's tucked in back there. This top one is a what is this called? That thing? I can't remember. X Station maybe, and PS1 digital on the top one. My GGHD with from the GBA with the Game Boy Advance SP board. So that's a GGHD. This is the Game Box Game Boy Advance Consolizer. This is the Intech Gaming Consolizer. This is the Intech Gaming controller thing that turns a Game Boy Advance into a Game Boy Advance controller, or a Super Nintendo controller. What game is the floppy? I don't remember what game is in the floppy. I just have a Tim Worthington N64 RGB modded, so that's an analog. Oh no, never mind. Wait, that's this. This is a Tim Worthington. I reached out to Blue Shell. I can't remember what his old Twitter name used to be, but they made the N64 Junior shell. He let me print the files. So this is I have a full ABS, full N64 Junior shell printed in ABS that I haven't put together, but that has the analog, or has a N64 RGB modded N64 in it. The bottom one is an Ultra HDMI V2, so that's an HDMI mod. The top one is a N64 digital, I think that was called, the first one. Stock. Oh no, it's not stock anymore. It has a RetroGem in it. PS2 with the RetroGem. My Ashita. It's just some Game Boys, or some DSs and stuff, 3DSs. The bottom one is my GC Dual, or wait, maybe the top one. Top one is my GC Dual and the GC loader. Bottom one is just a Pico loader with no HDMI mods. I feel like I'm just ranting. I have three. I think all three of these are HDMI modded. I think the bottom one is a 1.0 with all these Xboxes. I mean, this bottom one is a 1.0 Xbox with the original Xbox HDMI. The middle one is a Xbox HD Plus 1.6, and the top one is my Stellar 1.6. This is stock Wii, nothing modded in it. Then I've got two Xbox 360s with RGH mods, different versions though, because one's a fat, one's a slim. I think that's it. Oh, I have my up there is my AVE HDMI thing. Oh, I do have I have stuff. I have so many consolizers, they're stacked on top of each other. I have two of the Game Boy Advance Consolizers, the Woozle ones. So I have the original one on the top, and then I have the V2 on the bottom. So I have, how many Consolizers do I have? 5. 5 Game Boy Advance Consolizers. That's a lot. That's just this. Oh, then I've got my my Game Boy mods back here. So these are just, I don't know, it just goes on and on. Plus the ones in the boxes. So like I said, the PS3 is has custom firmware. I don't know. I think that's pretty much it for here. For now, yeah. Yeah. It's been a long time that I've been doing stuff, and you know, it's hard when you're like, it's a lot of money, guys, for all these stuff. So, and I do my best to try to be knowledgeable. It's like very, very hard to be knowledgeable about everything, and you know, doing the streaming stuff and doing or learning about this, you know, how to stream. I mean, I guess, and you know, being perfect with the settings and stuff like that. Yeah. Oh, I have a PC Engine. It's the one that I was trying to put the Turbo Nanza into, that eventually I have to get back to. But I also have a PC. Oh no, Core Graphics is what I was talking about. So I have the Core Graphics 2 in there. That's the one that needs the Turbo Nanza finished. Then I have a PC Engine Duo R, or the RX, the gray one. I don't think I've got anything else. Oh, I have stuff to do still. Like I have a bunch of Famicoms, which I eventually, one of them is going to become I want to build a Tiny Tendo. I've been promising, or not promising, but I've been wanting to build the Tiny Tendo. No, I'm having like that. The fun part, I guess, for me, I suppose, is the modding part. Not to say that gaming is not fun, but video editing is not super fun for me. I guess making sure I have all the perfect settings and comparing two things together that have the same settings is not super fun to me. But you know, I do it now because I realize people want to see it. So. Yeah. All right. Bought a bunch of consoles so they look nice on a shelf and don't get to play them. Well, it's a space thing mostly. I would have them all playable, but I don't know why did my face get blown out? Like my camera just freaked out. My iPhone just freaked out. I don't have a big enough space to have them all connected at once. So that's my excuse. I would like to have them all connected at once. Just, yeah. I have a 2 Neo Geo Pockets colors, and then my Game Boy Advance. Oh, plus I haven't talked about it that much, but I do have a Analog Pocket. Yeah. Sorry, Brandon. You can watch the VOD though. It's not as good, but you'll enjoy my new game, Soldering Simulator. Ah, fun. Yes, you should have little tiny tweezers that make things go flying. Like once in a while, little service mount parts go flying. Like RNG, it's like a stat that you can increase is how little your parts go flying off the tweezers. Oh, you meant you. Yeah, no, I agree 100%. Yeah. Sometimes I think, okay, this is the last thing, and then I'll swear that the stream will be over. Sometimes I think, you know, it's like, not a waste, but it's like, sometimes I feel like, what's the point, right? You know, the people who are like, oh, you know, you can just emulate things or this or that. There's some truth to it, right? And we're coming around to Mr. being so good anyways that I don't know. I'm not sure if we're ever going to get to the point where Mr. or an FPGA could emulate something like a PS3 or an Xbox 360 or something. I mean, there are, PC ports probably, but that I don't know if there's a point other than it's cool to know that it's coming from the original console. Yeah, and just know I guess it's more about learning about the history and stuff, and why you're doing it, why you're doing a mod, right? Why you need to do a mod to make it look better or something. So it's a hobby to me. I like the process of modding consoles, not just the end result. Yeah, for sure. Learning about it. And also, like, I get a real joy, and that's why I did for 2 years almost. I did the modding news, is because I loved when developers that had a nice product, right? So like Tim Worthington, they come out with a new version. Like, oh man, that's so exciting! Like, what are the what are the differences between the old one? Like, what makes it new? Is it better, or is it just kind of the same thing, just cheaper or something? So that's always awesome, and that's why I feel like retro modding stuff can go on forever, because this is just constant stream of, me finding new projects, me finding new people that are into, like Natalie the Nerd and like all these other new people that I've just observed from afar. I suppose that's kind of how I do it. I just observe people and absorb it through Twitter, which is a blessing and a curse. Twitter, it's not healthy for sure. Being on Twitter at all is not healthy. But it's really the only place to gather that many people and kind of get the updates from everybody at once, which, yeah, there's no point. Hybrid solution. Yep, that's true. Just a matter of preference. Yeah. Yep. All right, that's it. I think next stream is going to be Mr. something, so that means between now and then I got to get my ROMs in order. I got to get my Mr. up to date. Mr. Chords, up to date, and then we'll have the it's the digital I/O board, so it's pretty easy to connect to the Morph. But still, I guess I'll put it out there. If anybody has a 4K capture card they want to let me borrow for the Morph, not an external capture card. It has to be an external capture card, because I have all my PCI slots are filled up already. But if you have a external 4K, preferably an Evermedia, because that's the live gamer, one of the live gamers, because that's what I have. I would appreciate it, at least until I have the Morph. So Brandon Arnold is the person who let me borrow the Morph for a month or two. So I don't know. Just let me know, so that way I don't have to buy one and then I can give it all back when I'm done. So I don't have a snack, unfortunately. Nope. I want one. I want a. But I have the. What are they called? 4 adapter, whatever the shoot. I'm not good at remembering people's names, especially when there's so many different people that I have to remember. I forget people. I forget projects and stuff, which is really unfortunate. But this project, Timville, that's what it is. Timville on Etsy. So this is the first one, where it is like a USB. This is based on Damon Byte, so it's pretty low latency. So USB thing, but it gives you your Super Nintendo, Genesis, and NES. So I have a few of those, and I have the new one that has N64. This 4 adapter has N64. So I hope this will work with the N64 core. So maybe it's not as instant as Snack would be, but at least it's something. All right, thanks everybody. Leave me comments if you have feedback for how I'm doing. If you want to see more of a specific thing, maybe I won't stream it, but I can try my best to figure out how to capture it at least, because that was the whole point of this thing. It doesn't have PS1. I have PS1. Oh yeah, you're right. You're talking about the thing. Yeah, I just don't have the money right now. I'm super broke. I've been saying that I should reach out to Mr. Add-ons to see if he would, not sponsor me, but at least let me give me some things. I want to try the USB power, the Volt, what is it called? Volt? The power delivery, power connectors for all the consoles. I want to try that, just to test it to see if it works, if it's at least smoke tested, I suppose. And I want to snack stuff. I want some snack stuff for my Mister. I'm hyper broke. It's real hard. Has anyone made one with multiple ports for the same console? Well, you could just. I have more than one of them. That's just the answer, I suppose. Yeah, but that would be ideal. I don't know if you can use. Actually, David Byte I think might support more than one controller at the same time. So I don't see if there's a reason why it wouldn't. But Volt, yes, Volt power delivery. Yep. Anyways, not sure I bought 15 seg of Oh, about 15 Sega Mega Drives. What? What's wrong with you? Just use a DualSense controller? Yeah, for the PlayStation. Yeah, I suppose. I have the Bluetooth dongle that works with it, so that's possible for that. All right, I said I was going to leave a 1,000 minutes ago, but thanks, everybody. I appreciate you coming and talking, hanging out. Also, I appreciate you being patient. I know people like to see stuff go down in flames, but, you know, trying to do my best to give my opinions about stuff, so. Would send you a reflex adapter? Yeah, maybe. All right, everybody, see you later. See you on Sunday with some Mr. stuff. Was the Volt thing tested by anyone? Probably Mr. Adams himself. Zaxor kind of is sort of the go-to power guy. I think he might use them. You have to reach out to Zaxor. I thought he said he might use them. So he's the person that would put him on the oscilloscope and tell the quality of the output. So he's the guy that you would want to ask about that. So all right, bye everybody. Bye, Wobbin.